for a higher juicy news. Mima Obibia Aquaba had the latest hot era with the Bravo. And it is so we subscribe to channel area, but more than say over subscribe. Dabaya say over click the subscribe button. Now we barely notification. We had a video for free be upload. When the first person once saw a becan a year sa video. Afi we are now like video no give us a thumbs up. Na fi share ma wo foforo so na when you be here na wo hu ensemo ekoso e wo Ghana me mo hano. Afi ye hwe ye ensemo ababeto yepono so yiti eye sankubo ya ekoso mama yiti.
Otam sika bi ene ne ba etu kwan. According to the reply no tia Chief Justice say oh e wo mra kwan mu ena wo de saa ade ne ye because ya ka kire ne say owo ho kwan say opeso tu kwan a obetimi atu saa kwan no and any other person say ye na busuani obetimi de nakọ e ka ho ne de omu ne behwehwem. But the question is they be ameka e was ade we hu ni say onko na o je petition na sem otea me ti onko emu oha se sika sem bia e fe enti e be hwie mo hu se o kwa abrochira obetimi de ukuna akọ obetimi de oyira akọ obetimi de oba akọ na o de kwa wan na bebo sa aka no ene ye question na ye betimi aka ho asem we disika saa na se wo disika etimi pamo which is fair enti afenso ni a escalate no se yesi we disika ana wa mismanage ana wa ye misappropriation a yamso ye beko back ni akohye yewra John Dramani Mahama ni time as a president or mismanage ye or misappropriate ye se yesika die bi wonsem say dia ye be go back ni ahwe Nana Akufo Addo ta nyoma nyina ye be check. You see, you may be an NDC guy and you be a beka say oh yanko onko ompamo no onye sei se wadi boni bi pa yamane nko nemum saa utie a aye emotional blackmail yempenasem ye kokota a unanimous FC enti because of that no yempamo no emre bi NDC for the omu case no call court petition 2020 petition no mu de call court no time me hu say NDC for nye serious e wo court wo was yewra ase edun ketia okoya na ye busa ne I mean Supreme Court judge ba ku busa ne say okay yemfa ne say de figures na aba ne nyina no enye papa wo de we ase edun ketia wo de we wantimi anka e hona me hu say NDC court no mu ko waste time ko ye busa ase edun ketia say okay, yamfani said the Mosemoka and a yisi were wiem and a figures nentesa and I say, forward dear bra. I say, my lord, we did not come here to the and the moon say, let's be careful. And yes, and you may be brave one and for the na oh yeah na ye catch and say ade wey MPP mu hwe ye ebeka mo Ghana for bi befuo but mo see there be obeye hwan me on the record easy Charlotte say me kamu say sa ade na Akufo Addo ye no eye political nyansa nim and so man fi me there's no way me support Charlotte say there no because eye pure hatred na ye political. But MPP for justify na ene ntesa na hwan ene Chief Justice ne hwan ye hi nti yemfa kwan bia so na ye no okwa ebeduru ba bi no kre ne say MPP for ba omuso bepa obi no atro petition ni apamo momo NDC Supreme Court judge no nti se sa na mo pene dia mo menye ne sa ne enko ai Makai will be in Tiasie, but me say, so far as said John Mahama so opamu Chief Justice ya. Chief Justice we yebe hunu so ye NDC ni. Said John Mahama pamu ECA Sa easy way no county ye ma Jomahama wini ya easy no kwa de obeba ye easy next time say MPP ba MPP biso be chuso mu easy MPP be chuso mu Supreme Court judge say sa na mo pa man no na ye nya panyi bi anka say hey mum ye nya ya ye nto aso e say ye ko
to take a bit of time and I'm on follow me pa this week ana ye nya this statement from the office of the president said the chief justice has been suspended. Now, I suspend the Chief Justice and pursuant to Article 1466 President Atta Sa committee 5-member. Now, the Dini started say the people were making inference or share a dinner banner. It gives you a view of Niama Air Koso. ACP Ayamba Ebenya the strength to even petition the president to remove no mean person than the Chief Justice. Nana Asamno beginning very long time ago in Takrade. People should follow me. This man is an ACP, he's an assistant commissioner of police. And assistant commissioner of police. You are just I think at the last rank because commissioner is the last rank. IGP rank. If I'm mistaken, people should correct me. I think the last rank in the police is the commissioner of police. And I know a very senior police officer and a science lawyer. Nana in 2018, and of file a case with secondary Takrade. What was the case about? Because of a time, the case in answer ACP Ayambe Ekoto Asase a belonging to a branch of Netherlands and the Brian Rodenbeck. Nana auto sa beachfront property na asase a dan wo so e ben yisuo they kind of beachfront property which asase no hu beach ne ade Takrade. Nana auto ade no. So let me read the plaintiff's case for you. And I bet you as I say the plaintiff's case is that he purchased a property located at this place Busua from one Bram Rodenbeck, a Dutchman who was resident in Ghana up to 2013. Nasa Brante not to Ghana until 2013 or called Krum. That the purchase is evidenced by a deed of assignment dated October 9, 2015. So now it's a year processed by 2015. The said deed was duly registered with the Lands Commission. The plaintiff's case is that by the terms of the deed, Brian Rodenbeck has assigned the remainder of his interest 46 years. Now that's what I say about years. Brian used to property and by the time I walk on, I 46 years. So according to AC police ni interest aka 46 years no so what toss into a hand over side interest na the amano and execute the deed of assignment for and on behalf of Brian Rodenbeck. It's evidenced by the power of attorney which was duly given to her by Brian Rodenbeck and dated 1st January 2014. Now, na plenty case say what to asase. Na asase no to no turn through a power of attorney. Na jam to any. It was say akokwa ensign bibi mame. Na what you think man to free jam to direct. Me to free akokwa because one ma akokwa according to the plaintiff the power of attorney. Na asam ne court na no bia boni nkura. Then when the court was deciding, one of the key issues was the power of the attorney. Now okay case where what this is the full court case, this official court case. The ruling, sorry. Now you say the girlfriend forged the signatures of Brian Rodenbeck and the tongue. Sa property Emma police officer.
Sa girlfriend here lawyer.
No, no lawyer.
Okay.
One man the power of attorney.
Okay, one man to me say
to me. So the girl defrauded.
Oh.
The ACP. Now the who say apparently a very be notary public.
Okay.
Say notary public no omu yankofo mo authenticated documents. Na answer no obey authentication no. Esa wo nana janto wo gina ho. Now, who say what sign Bibia and son our authenticated document, no, according to the ruling from the Secondary High Court. Banana almost share the first page of the document now. Who say a photocopy. Brian no claim they say the girlfriend have found a passport and no left in another passport to bio data no. Who's your signature and no left his signature no to do this forgery. And on this notary public no copy or call you at Timota. And almost signed the man or timid the town property in my police officer. Document no authenticate here, so that defeats the processes of authentication, you know.
Right
now what you say or say plaintiff is a senior police officer and a lawyer. Unfortunately, he failed to exercise due diligence before entering into the transaction for the purchase of the third defendant's property.
Right.
By plaintiff's own showing, he knew about the execution process related to the power of attorney. He, however, shut his eyes to the obvious anomaly associated with the process and the document itself. Court on this, who police officer, we a lawyer. And the whole Tadia and Mrane Trese, a notary public, no say, Nipan the power attorney Nama Sumesi, and son authenticated away Musana Okotoyano. One due diligence.
Right.
This is the statement of the court. And then this is the ruling. Now, interestingly, the lawyer for the police officer in the case was the current Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Ramsay.
Okay.
Now, the case didn't travel. Was even 8,000 cedis cost against
the plaintiff.
The plaintiff.
Okay.
Now, the case in the court, this is Takrade High Court. A court now the court Supreme Court because of the time. So I've skipped some of the process for you. But now, all girlfriend or properties are here. Case documentary. What would say be your girlfriend or property here? Because the court established how the girl was able to defraud a senior police officer and a lawyer and a man who, based on this ruling, I'm not making a general statement. Based on this ruling there, and a man who I'm starting relevant cases to even defraud a lot of process.
Okay.
Now, no, the case traveled all the way to the Supreme Court. Not telling what say.
Yeah.
As some the court Supreme Court, no. Now, national date, no. April 5th, 2024. Or say 2024, April 5, 2024. ACP Akrugu Nedine Biwe Kaun Akrugu challenges Supreme Court decision media reporting property fraud case.
Right.
Meka Adamo say Assistant Commissioner of Police Ayanga, a legal practitioner, responded to what he perceived as unjust media representation following the Supreme Court decision in the property fraud case. Now, say ACP Ayanga in a rejoinder disputed the legality of his arrest and detention orders from November 14, 2023. Nana date was no timame.
All right.
And accused the Chief Justice of a cover-up. So, Nana, the petition against the Chief Justice from this police officer, no. Assembly beginning in 2018. In fact, I'll say the controversy arises from the Supreme Court of Ghana dismissal of ACP Ayanga's final review application, a complex property fraud case. Also, a Protestant lawyer, blah 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 blah. Chadwa say, however, the legitimate attorney proved in court that the sale was fraudulent. Evidence was provided to support the claim. The High Court overturned the sale, returning the ownership to say this Dutch guy Rodenbeck and censoring ACP Ayanga for the lack of due diligence. Despite this event, ACP Ayanga maintained his innocence and point to lawyer Shla Abeye Backman for formalizing the disputed power of attorney and sale offer without involvement. This is why Otros are rejoined that way. And what TS statement will say, amidst an ongoing investigation by the Commissioner on Human Rights and Administrative Justice Shraj into the Chief Justice's conduct, ACP Ayanga criticized the Chief Justice's participation in March 27, 2024 review panel as a conflict of interest and a breach of judicial impartiality. Now, I'm can't know today to ma'am. The reason I made you know this date is because of something I'm come to tell you. November 14, BBC or court. And a media reporters are Brantiano, Etienne, Chief Justice. Ebra Assembly travel all the way from the High Court in Sécret to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Now, Chief Justice not a panel, no, Nani anye Abrante behavior. So he ordered for the arrest of the gentleman. In fact, and a media report in it was a detaining for hours. And it took some senior lawyers in court that day. Send a number of appeal to the Chief Justice and the panel. Some lawyer no. And the senior police officer Nako. According to ACP Ayanga, and yes, I see your court.
Yeah.
It is a media report, and you know, Quentin Otro rejoined and 1. 2. Assembly see, you know, Otro Koma Shraj. Nanetio, it's in the first quadro of the board, Chief Justice, you know, and your petition way in the first. otro command strategy say Chief Justice na gunanima ase osan unfair to her enti Assemblity 2023 no atwa command strategy aden na ye review in March 2024 Chief Justice that transfer panel no so because we believe say the one in the year 2023
no person or asobetua ne ka
yes obey unfair to him.
Okay, I get it.
It's next one ACP Ayanga any Chief Justice beef no a long years of beef. Now this is what happens in court according to Ghana Web, and I'm coming to read to you verbatim what happened in court that day. Now say the report explained that Ayanga disagreed with the dismissal of his application and the subsequent imposition of 10,000 costs against his side. Now say according to Ghana Web, Ayanga Bufu yene say Supreme Court can say they are upholding what the High Court in second year. Normal bone ka 10,000 and the one so. His emotional response, particularly directed at the Chief Justice, prompted the court decision to take strict action. And I become say senior members of the legal community, including Edu Etuya and Dr. Basit Bamba. Now, this man is part of the General Legal Council, President Mahama nominating from the University of Ghana, rose to plead for clemency. Now look at the words that Ghana abuse you, and this story is dated 2023, a day after the incident happened in the Supreme Court. Or say to plead for clemency on behalf of Ayanga. Despite their effort, the Chief Justice expressed concern over Ayanga's conduct, referencing a previous report from the Takrade High Court to highlight similar behavior. Edana Ebro mu plead no ana Chief Justice catch up say papa oni ne huni oba court and nyema on nya papa saa na court Takrade High Court so koye na this what happened. I want Justice Pomaya say so no na chairman of that committee ya the Chief Justice Leniemamuno reported to have advised Ayanga that aggression has no place in a courtroom and urged him to adhere to all rules of legal arena. Manana utie Ghana Web report now. There was no mention of arrest. There was no mention of detention.
All right.
Now, let's move on. Okay, ACP Ayanga petition now. Unza na in law, mo ye law, ye free be circumstantial evidence.
Yeah.
And ye what evidence nankasa. Me threaten say me yo say, me the car be yo say na bibia koto. Based on that circumstantial evidence, and I can be accused to be the one I do bone. Na what you here. And I real evidence say about to say me kura ade nanka say do bone me no me gina obody no ho na sa ade ni kura me. Now this is exclusively petitioner ACP no the command President John Dramani Mahama or introduce no hu ye bibia. Banana on the issues no issue 1 no na hear or say whether or not after delivery of judgment she made the meaning and disrespectful remarks against me as a barrister. In an actual the issue no ne Chief Justice on it's largely about egos. He feel that the Chief Justice bruised his ego and our Chief Justice nankase. That is why he's unhappy. Now, I'll see on 14 November 2020, my case was called for hearing. The names of the parties and counsel representation were recorded. The proceedings commenced and ended by delivery of the ruling and award, of course. The Chief Justice delivered the ruling dismissing my case as without merit, but no reasoning for the decision. Now, I'll see Chief Justice not to the case, but I'm reason behind. According to ACP Ayamba, I was calm and silent and seated when she delivered the ruling. I hadn't talked start here. Suddenly, I heard them making off-judgment demeaning remarks against me to the fact that I am incompetent senior barrister. Banana, asama allegedly ACP Ayanga Ken. Takrade High Court when catch in the ruling and I'm the chair. Say, we are police ni. So when it comes to authentication of public documents, you should know the process. So why didn't you follow the process? So now exclusively. This is one of the petitions. I'm say the remarks were discourteous, disparaging, and disrespectful against my person and professional competence as a barrister.
As a Semna Chief Justice Kayano, as a man useless.
Yes.
As a woman.
It's an assembly tough and say police officer akotasa say. As a son of koto nipo koto no o defraudo no.
Okay.
Ana High Court ebutia wa takrade. Ana samna ba Supreme Court. The ba Supreme Court a Chief Justice e rule asem no. And no making comments bi a police ni say anya de because we bu na nimti as senior police officer any obi ono so lawyer ni the president man yin na di again no osan ko ya say chief justice behavior na against the judicial processes any tenant say chief justice say nya any judge of the Supreme Court say unya. So this is a case of ACP Ayamba. Now this is also the response from the Chief Justice. Minim Kofu leaky petition, but the Chief Justice has responded. Now the response in my main time for purposes of fair reportage. I say, Your Excellency, while I do not hesitate to apologize on behalf of the Supreme Court and myself, if any court user, including the petitioner, had a bad experience in court while I was presiding over a case, my humble submission is that the petition does not provide any element of misconduct or incompetence that led to the removal of a Chief Justice under the 1992 Constitution. Now, Chief Justice said, okay, Article 146 now. The grounds to remove a Chief Justice, and there are three. Now, what are the grounds to remove the Chief Justice? Okay, Article 146 now. The grounds to remove the Chief Justice are not remove you must prove grounds. Chief Justice said, what's my boo and in Tia court? Me no one can say ye. Oh, me jitum, be met my power chow. But you need to prove, say, Sadia course, no. One of the grounds. I bet him the Chief Justice Mebush. Now, Article 146 will say, a justice of the Superior Court or chairman of a regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except 1. Stated misconduct or incompetence, or on grounds of inability to perform the functions of the office arising from infirmity of the body or mind. Tinana misconduct 1, incompetence 2. Yariye bi entimi mane nene juma. Chief Justice say, Abrante no kwadu odi abom se mabu na nimtia o court. Makasa ma anya ne de no. Me as Chief Justice and the Justice of the Supreme Court, no, that does not prove one of the three grounds for me to be sacked as the Chief Justice.
Sebia mechu anim.
Yes.
Mekasa anya ode no.
Yes.
Inti empamo no.
Yes.
Osanse,
the hearing and proceedings complained about the procedures of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is always composed of not less than 5 justices for the exercise of its judicial function under Article 128 of the 1992 Constitution, except when its work is executed by a single judge under Article 143. In the conduct of the work of the Supreme, the presiding judge, whether the Chief Justice or another senior member of the court, is not the court. So the Chief Justice contention is that they not 70, you know. Even the chairman of the committee in the Chief Justice, Justice Poman, was there. Justice Yoni Kolendi was there. And Umunya Katros Abrante show Suman and Justice Poman, Justice Kolendi. So the Chief Justice contention is that why are you singling me out? Because I was single me out.
Me wanzo wamaya mu se uko Supreme Court enye nipa baako.
Yes, except in Article 134. Normally na 5. Who case na 5 panel. 5 panel no, at least 3 lawyers on the panel. Now Justice Kolendi cried then was say, Justice Kolendi they had a used opportunity to deliver a brief lecture on effective advocacy, linking it to the act of wooing a woman. Nana, Sir John there no. So okay.
Yeah.
Are you go to? Oh my lord, I'm a birthday cry, Mr. Gunia mame. Attach your koye document no. The client for them. Then I tell say justice no. You colony can say, so person wunya favorable document. As I said, you only your back can so person and the chimpana. Defe kakra.
They would the oba I want some police in
Or see, he emphasized that the courts are swayed by persuasion, not aggression. Now ko po ba wonya he me pew me no betna debi. Ba manage ho ene ko di kakra ene dahe me do be pay kakra eye persuasion so the Chief Justice contends that Justice Loni Kolendi reprimanded you, Justice Poman reprimanded you, then na me nkwa de wo se me nkwa me de yenyi wadi na what the Chief Justice dey na say After say, as stated by the petitioner, other members of the court gave various directions and contributions during the proceedings of the day. All those directions and contributions form part of the work of the court that day.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I say, a justice of the Supreme Court, I wish to also clarify that the manuscript records of the court in the records book of the Supreme Court are summaries of presentation and orders of the day relevant to the business of the court and nothing more. Nana, ACP Ayamba, one of the petition, he accused the Chief Justice of tampering with evidence. Say, some proceedings there course today, no matter delete be a free. So this is what the Supreme Court is the Chief Justice is responding to say. Or so clarify say records say and you be no much. Or say they are summaries of presentation and orders of the day relevant to the business of the court and nothing more. This is the reason why records of each panel are signed by each judge on the panel, signifying their agreement that it constitutes a true record of the essence of the proceedings and orders from the proceedings. Further, no judge manages or administers the electronically captured records of the court. These records are managed by the court recorder. Thus, respectfully, the petitioners demands for liability for the records he is seeking on the matters that occurred concerning are not appropriately targeted. Or say Supreme Court here na dwuma wi ade no na na janto justice here the ba say na kan yo say na tro yo no asan senior man so de no here the ba justice na so asan you just say to ma sign me there enti say wo say records so na nya papa enya me judge na me say adwuma court staff na say adwuma no so why are you accusing me of tampering with the records?
And you see based on this, me president, but if, for example, I had to say, yes, John Mahamadu Bawumia.
Yes.
Now what's here, Haruna Drusu?
Yes.
Now Haruna Drusu about Bontia Bekase. Me calling president to cry what's here?
Yes.
Until president on resign.
Yes. Banana.
I mean,
this is just one petition. Now this is where I bring in my source. Last week, one of my sources, a very senior person. Another reason, and actually the composition of the committee, you see this name. Is because allegedly, let me use allegedly, 2 years ago, there was an internal audit by the Judicial Service. And they found some financial misappropriations, allegedly. I have not proven it. The case is still before the committee. Now, in fact, I'm seeking legal advice before I did what I did was because we can't take 146. Everything happening must be in camera. You can't in camera. You say you're behind the camera. They be in camera. Just say you're in them. The reason why this man, Yaudom Levo, you didn't account when they say, I say, Sika Sembi allegedly.
Okay.
I mean, who's a media reporter quoted figures? I cannot substantiate me any evidence. That's why I'm using the word allegedly.
Right.
So now I'm told that the 3 petitions, one that the Council of State and they recommended the suspension is because of the financials and not necessarily Ayamba's petition.
Okay.
That's what my source tells me.
Almost say otamsika ene number 2 kwino.
Yes.
Sa eno.
Yes.
Sebia Chief Justice Korno de ne banso kan.
Yes.
Ene man ni per die.
Yes. I am told say they leverage the experience of justice, the former justice of the Supreme Court, Akufo, or the Omofar policy. They found some inconsistencies.
Okay.
And a Chief Justice response, it wasn't convincing enough.
Okay.
So the majority of the Council of State, which is the constitutional imperative, Article 140, the president must consult them. A votee say he must be, so she must be suspended.
Okay.
So Nana, that is why Dom Levo is in. But Nana Bibu says, "Didn't justice for Maya assembly see no wo be no na ebe chairway no Nana nya no ne fault." Okay. Article 146 na we mra. Now no say Article 1466 where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice. It mean country board so that will make it easier. Or say where the okay, Nana, so there's it. Where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, mandamus, acting in consultation with the Council, appoint a committee consisting of. So, Nana, the prescription of the committee, the Constitution has defined it. 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the President, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor MPs, nor lawyers. Now, say, 5 committee near Betsy. She established the prima facie basis say nipa na di boni bi ne yɛfa no nko process ni ma say 2 justice of the Supreme Court judges omo ma kan enye so oye Council of State member enye so oye lawyer enye so oye MP. Nana, I have an issue here. The first issue is that me boss in na Dantoa suspended allegedly for some year. Me no subordinate, I'm supposed to sit on the case. We can use retired justices of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I think there's an issue here.
Say Supreme Court ne boss
yes
am so Supreme Court for
yes
de bia nso oye yes amasa
yes
na ye ni firi wa yes wumum
e betra na asem so na answer to twan so kakra
ha dwen
na it's that the prescription na another question so about say can the president suspend him? Yes, the constitution prescribes say where a petition has been referred to article 1416 to a committee under this article, the president may a discretionary power may in the case of the chief justice acting in accordance with advice of the council by warrant signed by him suspend the chief justice. So you can see that all the processes President Mahama and the government have done, the constitution agrees. It's a constitutional process. You may not like it, but so far there's nothing illegal about it.
Yeah.
B, in the case of other justices of the Superior Court or chairman of the regional court acting in accordance with advice of the Judicial Council, suspend the justice. So a suspension of the chief judge, the president may do it. But the president doing it, the president must do it with Article 296 in the mind.
Right.
Because the catch was a discretionary power. Article 296 was say, where in this constitution or in any other law, discretionary power is vested in any personal authority. That discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. And a subjective analysis that the president may suspend a discretionary power exercise. 296 say it must be seen to be fair and candid. A political football on the bem. But when you talk about the strict law and the processes so far, I don't see any issue.
Right.
Now the last question I answer for you is that then Justice Paul Bafuboni Abeye acting Chief Justice na yere director of prisons under Mahama. Ninya na ye radio go do na enti yamba so mo de ne ba no ye NDC ni na the law is the law. What does the law say? Article 1446 or say where the office of Chief Justice is vacant or where the Chief Justice is for any reason unable to perform the functions of his office, until a person has been appointed to and has assumed the functions of that office, or until the person holding that office has resumed the functions of that office, as the case may be, those functions shall be performed by the most senior of the justices of the Supreme Court.
Right.
Now the current justice of the Supreme Court, I'm told they are 14. The most senior is Justice Paul Bafuboni. On the 11th of June 2008, and President Akufo Addo, together with other 3 justices, Justice Aremeyaw, Justice Doche, Justice Constance Rose Wusu, and Obomudi, on the 11th of June, or Swami actually, on the 11th of June 2008. The next senior and a justice for my 2015. So Justice Bafuboni is only there because of Article 1146B. That is it.
All right.
That is it. No. So this is the process so far. The other 3rd petition, and also me go, but my legal friends advise me against showing that. So my 2 petitions, I am by there, and then the financials and the processes so far. Next week, if I get a clear answer, I'll do the other ones for you.
Eugene Osei-Tutu, the fact checker. Inti ne tofane se nipa miensa mate se bi kura sa beka ho, but nipa miensa na omudi aba no. The first one no edie no se fase. The first one ne die no ayete se obi se wan kasa nche mi yenti empamo andi mu oha we say we gina so na di apamu si gya na mu oha say wan kasa ni bufu oteatea me sa ene ne sanka ha de nke yi nkrofo adio na onim Jimmy Agla general manager obetia enti na ze akọ report na makwasi twum say Jimmy Agla chia enti yempamo no ene be yi nyina ye dio and there I mean say sad there mfa. The other thing now, omususu yese otam sika bi ene ne ba etu kwan. According to the reply, no tia Chief Justice say, oh, ewo mmra kwan mu ena wode saa ade ne yeye because ya ka kire ne say owo ho kwan say opeso otu kwan a obetimi atu saa kwan no, and any other person say ye na busuani obetimi de nakọ eka ho ne de omu ne behwehwem. But the question is they be a maker I was idea we who ni say dear ye say ya nhwe ni ye say NDC elusu abadachia Chief Justice Krono beko because ope wumpo Chief Justice bi obebe bia no oye NDC Chief Justice me say kabiem NDC for many abre onko bi okra woni masem ni mu but yes won kwa no so won kenken tinene ya go down for you to understand it enya wo emotions ni wonko no eyese onko die ntina onko na wo hwe petition na sem oteame ti onko emu oha se sika sem bia eyefe enti ebehwe mo hu se okwa abrochira obetimi de ukuna akọ obetimi de oyira akọ obetimi de oba akọ na wo de kwa wan na bebo sa aka no ene ye question na ye betimi aka ho asem we disika saa na se wo disika etimi pamo which is fair. Enti Afenyo ni a escalate no se yesi we disika ana wa mismanage ana wa ye misappropriation na yamso ye be call back ni akohye yewra John Dramani Mahama ni time as a president or mismanage ye or misappropriate ye se yesika die bi wonsem say dia ye be go back ni ahwe Nana Akufo Addo ta nyoma nyina ye be check. You see, you may be an NDC guy, and you be a beka say, oh, yanko, unko, pamono, onye say. So we dibo ni bi pa yamanunko. Nemum sa utia aye emotional blackmail. Yen penasem, ye quarter a unanimous FC. And because of that, no, yen pamono. E maybe NDC for the omu case no call court. Petition 2020 petition no mu call court no. Time I mean who say NDC for nye serious. Our court was yera ase dunketia. Okoya na ye busane. I mean Supreme Court judge Baku busane say okay. Yemfa ni say the figures na abani nyina no enye papa. Wo de we ase dunketia wo de we wantimi anka. Ehona na me hu say NDC court no mko waste time. Ko ye busa ase dunketia say okay, yemfa said the Muslim woka and a yisi wa wiem and a figures nintesa and why say fa wo de bra. I say my lord, we did not come here to the moon say let's be careful. And yes sir, e bedru baby no. Out of ye emotions ni yempe no. Obia or what experience obia what share there to become a Supreme Court judge no. And ye emotions so what share there to certain level. Enti moment ye because ene de ye wo de tie de enti me kasa asem we na afia to discussions ne say ye won nyoma bebre wo ho adwo Nana Akufo Addo ye ya me kan ho asem say ye hweye enti say me ka dwo Mahama metimi aka because na no me kan but once a politician na mo so odin tie ka kire ma mu mfi se mu otumi ne e ka ne e wo ne ma ka kire mu sese ya mo nti ase. And you may be brave one and Akufo Addo na oh yeah na ye catch and say ade way MPP mu hwe ye ebekamo Ghana for be before but mo see there be obeye hwan me on the record easy Charlotte say me kemu say sa ade na Akufo Addo ye no e political nyansa nim and so man fi me there's no way I'm supporting Charlotte say there no because e pure hatred na ye political. But MPP for justify na ente sa na hwan ene Chief Justice no hwan ye hi nti yemfa kwan bia so na ye no okwa ebeduru baabi no kre ne se MPP for ba omo so bepa obi no atro petition ni apamo momo NDC Supreme Court judge no nti se sa na mo pene dia momo yenye ne sa ne enkowai ai Makai will be in Tiasie. But me say, so far as said John Mahama so opamu Chief Justice ya. Chief Justice we yebe hunu so ye NDC ni. Said John Mahama pamu ECA ya. Sa ECA ya no county ye ma. John Mahama wini ya. EC no kwa di obeba ye EC. Next time say MPP ba. MPP misu be chuso mu EC. MPP be chuso mu Supreme Court judge. Say sana mo po mine na ye nya panyi bi anka say, hey mumi enya ya.
Yo, it for winning a reporter abato yepono so make out say so when you subscribe to channel idea bomodi say over subscribe. Now while like video no give us a thumbs up na fe share ma wo foforo so na we be here na wo hu ensemo ekoso e wo Ghana memo hanum. Also betimi atchere wadwen afa eye some we nyina ho e wo comment box mu mobati minka bi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.